Florida. There's a condo and a housing crisis in Florida. And homeowners are really, really struggling over there. Take a look, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dig into that a little bit.
Welcome back. Tonight, we continue to follow through for you on Florida's fractured home insurance market. And now condo owners are reaching out to us, voicing their frustrations and their fears that they will be priced out of paradise. Wendy?
Yeah, that's right, Paul. In fact, Karen Shipman is one of them. She owns a condo in Venice, and she wrote to us saying, quote, insurance keeps going up, up, up with no end in sight. She goes on to say, quote, living in Florida is becoming too expensive. And this is all backed up by a new Redfin report released today showing more Floridians are offloading their condos they simply can no longer afford. ABC Action News reporter Nadine Yanis is digging into that report tonight.
We are looking at the Gulf of Mexico, and this is the reason we bought this place, was for the view.
This second-story Gulfront condo in Venice was supposed to be Karen Shipman and her husband's last home. Retiring here from Pennsylvania in 2021, but now
we're on a fixed income. Could we afford to keep this place?
With condo.
Let me start there. I think a lot of us neglect to understand exactly what our finances is going to look like when we get older. A lot of us neglect to understand exactly what our finances is going to look like when we get older. I am very, very keen and very much aware of what my finances is supposed to look like, what I'm projecting for my finances to look like when I get older. I do plan on being productive my entire life, but I had retired in 2019 when I was 37 years old. It was one of the most boring things that ever happened in my life. It probably was a little bit worse simply because the pandemic had just set on. Because it was the end of 2019. I was going into 2020. The basketball season had got canceled, and everybody was stuck at home. And I was like, I don't know what the heck is going on right now. But I very much planned on spending the rest of my life going to Pistons games, sitting courtside, traveling the world, and seeing what's happening, and making sure that my daughter seeing me at every last one of her taekwondo whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I realized that I had so much more to give, and there was so many more industries to disrupt. And things that I wanted to do and voices that I wanted to, things that I wanted to say and voices that I wanted to impact and people that I wanted to help, right? And so, you know, I got the opportunity of a lifetime. They proposed an opportunity in corporate America. Obviously, during the pandemic, we did what we did when it came to content creation. Real estate was crazy at the time, and so I didn't buy anything during the pandemic, but I just waited and I just bought land. And now we in a space where I'm building, right? And I'm doing things that I never even thought that I was going to do because it wasn't even a thing that was in my mind, but I'm exploring different things. I'm learning more and I'm doing it. But one of the reasons that I'm doing a lot of the things that I'm doing is I realized that I didn't just want to have enough money to last me for the rest of my life. I didn't want to just be a millionaire for the rest of my life. Now the goalpost has moved because I want to maintain a specific lifestyle for the rest of my life. And I don't think that we really having that conversation. The thing that we all neglect to have a conversation about, we talk about God, we talk about relationships, we talk about cars, we talk about the election. But you know what I find that we really don't talk about in this culture? We don't talk about what we gonna look like when we decide that we're not working no more. Very few people actually talk about it. I don't know if y'all think y'all gonna live forever. I don't know if y'all think that y'all gonna just be working forever. I don't know if I seen so many people retire only to become greeters at Walmart. And there's nothing wrong with becoming a greeter at Walmart, but I don't see anybody talking about the fact that most people have less than $1,000 in the case of an emergency. And what do you think that that's gonna translate into when you retire? What you think, we gonna just keep pushing the retirement age back? You're not looking to actually live that much longer. And so you think that it's just going to be over when you decide that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out what y'all talking about. See, Jay says, well, tomorrow isn't promised. Well, what if it is? What if you get there? You just going to be poor the whole time? You going to live in a trailer park? No, see, for me, I'm going to operate in abundance 100% of the time. And so when you even take these people and you having a conversation, don't you know that even people that have money they still is on a fixed income, and they didn't take into consideration that the fact that their HOA fees and their insurance was going to get canceled in Florida, and they was going to be pushed out and priced out of the thing that they thought that they was going to retire to for the rest of their life. Don't you know it's a lot of people that is begging, and they going homeless, and they on the streets, and they was having thriving lives, and now that's one of the reasons why you see so many people homeless over in Los Angeles? You can't think like that. You got to think both ways. Don't you know you can have your cake and eat it too? Why can't I live the life that I want to live now and make sure that I can live the life that I want to live later? Why can't I make sure that I live the life that I want to live now and plan for the future? Why can't we do both? You can have two women at the same time, but you can't plan for making sure that you take care of yourself now and in the future? They say, Anton, the rapture is coming. You know, I've been hearing that since I was a little kid, but we not even going to make it to the year 2000. Here we are in 2024, and y'all living van life.
Condo insurance costs and HOA fees continuing to rise.
Even our mortgage has gone up by $1,000.
This new Redfin report says Florida's insurance crisis and new laws after the Surfside collapse are to blame.
Since Surfside, we also, on our personal homeowners insurance, have a surcharge. But before Surfside, that surcharge was around $100. Right now, I just renewed my policy for March, and I think it's almost up at $700.
And that's just a surcharge on her policy. Reasons Redfin says condo owners are now offloading their properties, no longer able to afford it.
Like, I want this to be our last place, but I'm not sure it will be if the cost keeps going up.
So the Redfin report that says in the state of Florida, condo sales year over year have dropped nearly 7%. This while listings have gone up 28%. These are very similar numbers for the Tampa Bay area, and we spoke with one realtor who says she's seeing it on the ground.
It's been on the market for 151 days. We've had 3 showings.
Barbara Schmall has been a real estate agent since the 90s and has never seen the Florida condo market this bad.
We can't get people to come to open houses. None of the agents who have buyers are calling.
And says it's particularly hitting those on fixed income.
And that's what made Florida, where the 55 over retirees who really created our beautiful state, and now they're being punished for it.
Condo owners pay for insurance twice, with their own policy for their unit and through
On the books, their condo has been on the market for 151 days. Florida, sunshine, beaches, naked bodies, dad bods, the whole thing. Condo has been on the market for 100 and some days, only had 3 showings. Now, remember, we are in a market where there's a limited amount of homes that's really hitting the market because of the interest rates, and people don't really want to sell anything because then they're going to have to go and finance something else. People don't want to go out here and finance anything because they know that they're going to be paying a higher interest rate. But at the same time, guess what? They can't afford to stay where they at. So now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because your insurance is going up. Insurance companies is absolutely leaving, and your condo fees and your association fees is going up. Your association fees are going up, and you cannot afford to live where you live in anymore.
through their HOA and what's called a Master Condo Association policy. According to the Insurance Information Institute, those policies are going up anywhere from 100 to 500% right now.
Never, ever. And a lot of people had to learn this the hard way because they didn't know. But under no circumstances, never, ever, ever, ever. And this is just my own personal policy. This is my own personal experience, and this is what I'm telling you guys. I'm just sharing you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you that I will never, ever. I own one property out of 17. 18 and 19 is being built. 20 we have yet to break ground on. I have one property that have HOA fees. That's in a condo association. It's still a house. It's a home, but it's in a subdivision that they designated as condos, and I pay less than $50 a month for that. Never, ever. Actually, yeah, I pay less than $50 a month for that. Never, ever buy a place where they're charging you condo association fees. I know that it can seem like an opportunity. I know that it can seem like whatever, so on and so forth. But do not buy places in places where they're charging you association fees.
I felt like Florida was such a paradise, and sometimes with the rising cost and everything, I feel like it's paradise lost now.
If you want to see the full Redfin report, we have it right now on abcactionnews.com.
She kind of hot too, though, on the low. Who is this lady? I do a little bit of research. We'll find out. Let me read a couple of the super chats, and then I want to share one more thing with you guys, because I know that this is something that's probably going to be controversial, because none of the ladies want to talk to this type of guy, but we're going to talk about it.